Just some quick examples of, some recent victories over coal. Here's a Power Pass Coal. We went down there and helped them redefine their fight because Boulder, Colorado, had an opportunity to renegotiate its franchise agreement with Xcel Energy. And, even coal companies have been saying coal is bad and they want to transition to natural gas. So we had to reframe this and talk about, put pressure on the city of Boulder to insist on more renewables in the portfolio as part of the renegotiation. And a year or so ago, Xcel plans to close Valvo's coal burning plant. So that's a victory for them. There's still the issue of natural gas conversion that's less than optimal. Recently, people aware of the Chicago Crawford coal plants. I can't remember the name of the coal company, the power company. But so last year, April 20th, we were out on the coal pile and outside the fence with a collaboration between the Latino community that lives in Little Village Environmental Justice Organization that's down in the south end of Chicago, RAN and Rising Tide. And Rising Tide and RAN people were on the pile. The community was outside, and we created art and let's see, I think there's some other big pictures here. Here's on top of the pile, this is outside. This guy's a coal boss. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. He had smokestacks coming out of his spine. Alright, so good. And then, so just a couple of weeks ago, I started getting texts and here's a Democracy Now! Article or, screenshot of, they announced that the Chicago residents win closure of toxic coal-fired power plants after health ailments spark campaign. So, again, people are winning victories by confronting corporate collusion with electric power in their own communities. This is a very interesting, very hyper-local example of not a victory over, but a win-win situation on Vashon. We wanted to challenge PSC's investment in coal and our overdependence on coal. And so we thought, well, how do we do this? Well, we have to finance weatherizations and make that financing so that people can afford to just get the insulation and the coffee they need and pay back and save as much money on their power. But we realized we weren't going to do that with B of A, US Bank, Chase. But maybe we should start our own credit union. I put in this because I think there's this idea that, oh my gosh, oh no, the world is falling, or the sky's falling, the economy is crashing. It's like, whose economy is crashing? Their economy is crashing. Is it gloom and doom, or is it, whose economy? Maybe it's actually gloom for the Wall Street phantom economy, thank you, Jim Gordon, and bloom for resilient, stable, local living economies. So this is our opportunity. So we started this project, CU Vashon, our community, our money, trying to figure out how we can start a credit union. We went through an elaborate process. This was one of our tags. Invest in our community, grow our economy, sustain our environment. We did a big push to educate people on credit unions and what it would mean for the community. We did a survey that had really positive results, like you see, how important is this credit union to you? Not important is a very small chunk. Important and very important for almost 90%. So, and we did all that in a month's time. And a crazy thing happened that we realized that it was we did a very extensive survey and we're willing to share it with anybody interested in these kind of projects. Well, what we discovered is that it was one of those projects that instead of pushing the rock up the hill, it was chasing the rock down the hill. And we got scared. Because it was so much desire for what we wanted to deliver that in order for us to start our own credit union, we were going to have to raise $1 million. Now by the time, who knows, you can do that, but it'd be kind of heroic. Because you have, for a credit union, you have to have 7% of everything that's in the deposits. You have to have that set aside. And you can't offer people as an investment It's not tax deductible, not in our situation. So we were just kind of stuck. But then, ironically, Puget Sound Energy's employee credit union heard about us, and they asked us for a negotiation. And so we negotiated with them. We checked out how solid they were, their financials. We checked out their bylaws to make sure that it was a democratic enough structure that we could, that the membership could influence the composition of the board. We asked for 3 board positions. We asked for innovative lending relationship with nonprofits, and we asked for a branch in our community. And they agreed. Crazy. When we went over talking about these demands, the president of the credit union board, I said, well, we know we have to be able to do savings secured lending for weatherizations and conservation lending. And he said, well, we can't just allow that to happen on Vashon Island. That would we'd have to allow that to run our entire service area. Oh darn. Quote unquote, far be it from me, far be it from us to be so parochial that we would want to keep a good thing to ourselves. And which is great because I didn't want to have to fight PSC all around the entire service area, right? So we did weatherization loans. We recruited the management from the local Chase. We stole their manager and assistant manager, people who wanted to be community managers but were trapped in this corporate monster. So she retired one week, and then the next week she announced publicly that she was going to manage the credit union. They opened the doors on March 1st, 2011. After 2 months, we already had 700 accounts started, approximately 500 new members, and $5 million deposited. But wait, there's more. Okay, so yeah. It's good, yeah, it's good. Moving money is fun, right? It's super fun. Financial institutions should reflect their values. It just took a team, a small team of community members to make this happen. And now, as of a few days ago, we've got over 1,700 people on Vashon Island. It's about 10 or 11,000 people on Vashon Island, of men, women, and children. That's over 17%. Or it's about 17%. We moved $18 million out of the local Wall Street banks. And 3 of the 12 board members are from Vashon, including one, if you can believe it. Which is great, right? I'm getting a financial education. Don't we want to have our own finance infrastructure with lots of different components, from local currencies to community development financial institutions? Thank you. Yeah, right here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so then we loaned over $8 million to folks on the island, and made other money available for their weatherization loans around the state. So on the anniversary, they ironically are on Bank Road, which has 2 banks on it. So we renamed it Credit Union Way. And that was on Friday night, and on Sunday it was still there. And then I took it down. And you can get information about that project at cuorganizer.org. And you can download and edit editable forms, all the surveys, etc. I want to just end with this realm that I think our movement is tending to go toward, and we have great potential for victory. And it's because we have pioneers out there. Cities like Urbana of Boston have really developed the strategies for eviction protection and evolved national demands for principal reduction. Their strategy is a post-foreclosure eviction protection and buyback process, and they have bought back over 100 homes. I'll just play a little bit of a PBS.
Correspondent Paul Salmon reports on a fight against foreclosures in Boston. It's the second in an occasional series on the mortgage crisis, and it's all part of his regular reporting, making sense of financial news.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Cox, and I'm in foreclosure.
More than 2 million Americans are in Deborah Cox's shoes. or Norwegians.
Norwegian houses in foreclosure.
A disproportionate number of foreclosed-on Americans are black or Hispanic, according to a recent Princeton study.
I'm Francisca Gomes. My house is foreclosed.
But the movement to resist is growing and has been given a swift lift by the news that foreclosure paperwork was either flawed or fraudulent.
My name is Jitendra Moses. I've been receiving foreclosure notices in the mail. I'm going to see what we can do to try to fight this business.
At the weekly meeting of Boston nonprofit City Life Vida Urbana, which has been organizing foreclosure resistance for years, the mood is now more defiant than ever.
And I've been arrested at an eviction blockade to keep a family from being evicted, and I'm very proud of it.
They took my life savings, and now they're going to take my house. But you know something? I'm in there and I'm not going nowhere.
So while banks put a temporary freeze on foreclosures, activists are taking matters into their own hands.
We bailed them out. Our tax dollars help them. They should help us.
City Life mounts public resistance to the eviction of foreclosed families.
And we go out and we show that we're all behind this family and what they're doing is wrong. And we ask the bank to just negotiate with this family.
They call their approach the sword. Physical activism, as their standard weekly skit makes clear.
What do you want?
Your house.
Your house.
I give you my life savings, and now you're trying to take my home away from me.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere.
Oh, yes,
hear
you
that?
are.
I'm not going nowhere.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you?
I'm City Life, and you got to go.
The sword is step one of a three-step program. Step two, the shield. Free legal help to drag out the process for people like Micheline Champagne.
They have sent me notices, the 72 hours to quit. They've offered me cash for keys, and I have not accepted any of these offers. I opted to take them to court.
Step three is the offer. To buy back the foreclosed house and resell it at current market value to the homeowner, like Pamela Nichols.
And I will be closing on my home. I'm getting my home back. I will be closing on October 22nd.
City Life organizer Steve Beecham is seeing more progress.
Okay, so they work with a group called Boston Community Capital. And if you search for Bailout America, Occupy Our Homes, there's a whole podcast and resource page that we put up about this. But better than that, I've been working with Joe Walter to start to bring some of the City Life folks. See how they're using underwater imagery? This is an amazing moment. This woman is telling this incredible story while she's getting undressed and she's putting on her flippers. And it's a great video. And we're using, and see they've got principal reduction is the light frame. So we're going to bring City Life to Tacoma for a training on April 28th and 29th, which is the First United First Methodist Church. So that we can learn from their vast experience and replicate it as appropriate here in the Northwest. And my thought is that we can be declaring whole neighborhoods or towns eviction-free zones. And as you were seeing the video sort of play before, this is what we're doing in D.C. We're doing 2 days of training and then an action at the Federal Housing Finance Administration on April 2nd. So, this is the workshop, 28th and 29th, Declare Your Community an Eviction-Free Zone, Eviction Protection Organizer Training with Boston City Life. April 28th and 29th. So, victory is possible, and it's way more fun. So, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here and be able to share stories with you.